And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast.
Well, it's not exactly brand new anymore, is it?
Welcome to Freshly Grounded, the podcast.
That's better.
Created by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded.
After that bit.
Created by
After that bit.
best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
The khutbah today was quite powerful. It was by Ustad Haris. And Abdul Samad, and he said some amazing things in the khutbah. I imagine, like all khutbahs, the khutbah was about Palestine. I imagine that all khatibs did that or spoke about that topic because obviously it's so prominent right now. And I when I was listening to the episode, when I was listening to the khutbah, I wanted to bullet point some stuff down. I didn't take my phone out there and then I thought, I'll do it straight after. And as you do, as soon as you're done, you leave and stuff, you forget about doing those kind of things. So I didn't write down bullet points, but I wanted to because I wanted to kind of like mention what he mentioned.
But your memory is good.
I remember. My memory is really bad, but I remember to an extent. So he spoke about the situation in Palestine, and he spoke about the like reason and why Masjid al-Aqsa and the land of Palestine in general, we hold it in such high regard. Yeah. And he spoke about the sanctity of Masjid al-Aqsa and how Allah spoke about it. And then he that was kind of the beginning part of the khutbah, right? Like he gave some great detail about why it's important to us. Yeah. And then he went on to explain the current situation, which was and what I found really interesting was like when he, for example, he spoke about Sheikh Jarrah. Actually, this is one of the bullet points I would have probably written down, which is that when he spoke about Sheikh Jarrah being the people's houses being taken from there. He came at it from an angle which was interesting. Is he said that it's like the place it's situated is like it's like access to Masjid al-Aqsa, kind of. That's how he explained it. I don't know the geography of where Sheikh Jarrah is. Yeah. But the way he explained it is like what he went on to say is that by getting to Sheikh Jarrah, it's like the security of getting to Masjid al-Aqsa has now been like taken down almost. Like it's closer to get to Masjid al-Aqsa.
Fine.
It was kind of what he seemed to be alluding to, which I found really interesting because it seemed now like there was a bit of even more of a
urgency.
Not urgency, but like even more of like a
threat.
No, not threat.
Maybe I should stop guessing what you're going to say next.
Even more of an intention.
Fine.
It's not just like, as evil as it is taking people out of their homes, it's not even just taking people out of their homes. It's like the reason why it was that. That's what it came across like at the khutbah. And then the other points he made were like again really interesting. He spoke about how yesterday there was something like advancement, and then he said about what we can do, which was the interesting, like the point where it kind of you could hear everybody, you could see everybody like really. It's a khutbah, so you can't say anything. But as soon as he started making dua, everyone's saying Ameen and stuff really passionately. And there's some of the stuff he said that we could do was, he said, obviously make dua, right? Which is like the most important thing. Raise awareness. We don't know the power of awareness. And then he said the thing that we speak about often on the podcast, which is this idea of Allah doesn't change people until they change what is in themselves. And he said that one of the things that we can do is better ourselves as Muslims. He said praying Salah on time, for example. And that's always one that and other examples are basically following Quran and Sunnah, being a better Muslim. And it always feels weird to explain that because it feels like not it might not logically make sense, right? But like the idea that if I better myself, then the situation of the ummah generally, because we are one body, it helps that, right? That's about itself. So he mentioned that. And I don't know, what else did he mention? Did you remember? I wish I wrote the bullet points down. He made dua for the people of Palestine. He made dua that we are able to all go and pray in Masjid al-Aqsa one day. But it was a really, really great khutbah. And if there's a recording of it, then what I'll do is perhaps like tag Ustad Haris or his Instagram or something, and then maybe we can find out if there's like a recording. But a really amazing khutbah and a great like structured in a great way where he spoke about why is Palestine and Masjid al-Aqsa important to us as Muslims, then what is happening, and then what can we do, which is like the three main things. So yeah, if that recording does exist, it should be heard.
May Allah bless him, man.
I mean, yeah, he's speaking about like Eid as well. He actually did he did the first khutbah in Ramadan. He did the first week of Ramadan khutbah, and then he just did this one, which was like the Eid, like the last, not the last one, but like the first one of Shawwal. Like, that's how quick it went. It went so quick. Like I remember, like yesterday he did the first one of Ramadan.
Yeah, this Ramadan went really quickly.
But when he even said he was like, it's gonna go really quickly and stuff.
How amazing of a time is it though, Ramadan?
Yeah. I'm so conscious, bro, because like I'm sat in this like really awkward position, yeah. But I know like the minute I want to sit like this, right? But I'm just so conscious of all my like eczema scars that I've like accumulated over the past few months.
Well, you didn't have them though.
I know, I never had them.
Last few months, innit?
Yeah. But I know they're quite prominent.
Nah, they're not. They're fine.
Yeah, they are on camera.
Part of you,
We're
bro.
filming in 4K, bro.
Yeah, 4K.
Yeah. So I have my jacket as a backup.
Nah, you don't need it, man. You nice with that. That is a nice jacket though.
Jazakallah khair.
So you can wear half. You just half.
Eid
of
and
it.
Saeed.
Bro, just to wear half, just outside.
Yeah, he did the first khutbah. I feel like the jacket doesn't look nice unless you wear it with a hoodie underneath.
Nah, it looks nice, akhi.
I feel like I'm covering.
It's like a mix between like casual and smart.
Guess what I have?
Go on.
We wanted to sweeten our mouths.
Oh, jazakallah khair.
You can't chew it on a podcast though.
Really?
You can chew it now while I'm talking.
So
Then
you're teasing me like this.
no, you chew it now while I'm talking.
Do you remember in Cardiff, bro? We used to get these, and I used to take the green ones.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No.
No,
And jelly tots.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They were like vegan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you made me buy the whole box.
You
remember that?
I don't remember.
Really?
No, I don't remember making you buy
You're like,
that.
bro, if you're bad, just buy.
By the way, I've got
box.
Costco membership now.
Yeah, he told me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have one obviously.
Yeah, I
'cause
have one.
Do you remember
Have you
Booker's?
been yet?
Booker's is like.
No, I've never been to Booker's. Oh, that's the one that we went to.
You went to it in Cardiff.
Yeah, that's like Costco.
I think it's better than Costco. I think it's like more like Costco is like a bit like there's some great deals and then there's some bad deals.
Yeah.
It's great. There's some really bad deals.
Yeah, there's horrible deals.
Why? Oh,
There's some really interesting stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like that it just doesn't make sense as to why you'd go and buy like £150,000 necklace.
Oh, I've not seen.
Costco.
Oh
Yeah, that's what it
yeah.
is.
They're right at the front.
Yeah.
But there's some bad deals like.
But because it's like for like businesses and like those professionals, I just never understood why I was there.
But if you and it's very easy not to look at the price because you're in Costco, so you think it's gonna be cheap. So I bought some. I needed some. It was like the 29th night of Ramadan something, or the 28th night, right? And so I just needed one more packet of golden syrup.
You can't go there, bro.
Goats, right? Listen. I wasn't planning to get it from there.
Fine.
But in the back of my head, I knew, like, from a day or two ago, like, oh yeah, I need one more packet.
Yeah, bro,
I've
there's
got
still
one
60
more,
packs.
Yeah, I got one more day of porridge for suhoor that I need. So, like, go to Asda, I'll grab a little 4-pack in it or something.
Did you have porridge every day?
Not every day, but then I started.
But like
every
that
day.
kind of meal, porridge and bananas and that.
Yeah, because I would have like a big midnight meal.
Really?
And I
Nah,
wouldn't
I
be
couldn't
hungry
do that,
porridge.
man. Couldn't do that.
Anyway, listen to this, right? So I needed golden syrup, Quaker Oats, yeah, the microwave one, and I only needed one more day. I only needed one more day's worth.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't planning to get it from Costco, but then I was in Costco and I saw it and it was on offer. So I was like, oh, let me just grab it from here because it's on offer. And I never thought anything much of it. I went home. My wife, she goes to me, why did you get this big box of Quaker Oats? And I said, oh, I just needed one more packet for today. She goes, you need one more sachet? I said, yeah. She goes, you know, this is a 50-pack. And I was like, I'm not going to go for 50. And she's like, Zachary, I can't go for 50 because it's so sweet. Because he has porridge, but you can't have that one.
Yeah, he has the plain one.
Yeah, yes.
Bro, I have the plain. I never did porridge until like a month ago.
So now we've got 49 sachets
Allah Mubarak.
of Golden Oats porridge at my house.
I don't do golden oats one. I haven't really tried. I don't think I've tried it. I just add honey
It's
into
lovely.
mine. Bro, I
It's
just add
lovely.
honey, man.
The Golden Oats one is the one. Back to my point.
No.
Ustad Haris did the first khutbah of Ramadan.
Yeah.
And he's speaking about how, fast it will go. And then he did that one and it went so fast. I think they were the only 2 khutbahs that I even went to in that masjid. So
did it?
he did the first one of Ramadan, first one. It is amazing, bro. The first khutbah was amazing. And then last week's one, bro, Ustad Abdul Ahad in the last.
Akhi,
Did you-
I love that guy so much.
But we spoke about that one, didn't we?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it. I saw it because it.
Oh, you posted it?
No, I think Dar es Salaam posted it. Yeah, the Arsenal posted it, so I added it to my list of things I need to watch.
Really?
Yeah, people keep telling me about it, that it was really amazing.
It's amazing.
I even told him.
But not that it's not beneficial now, but it was about making most out of the last bit of
Yeah.
Ramadan. And Ramadan's over.
No, it's very. I'd love to watch it. I'm gonna watch it, inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, man, some good
Subhanallah.
khutbahs recently, but even then, like we say that the month went so fast, but a lot happened in the month.
Yeah, there's a lot of barakah in the month, man.
A lot of barakah in the
There's
month.
something that I realized, like, I was thinking about the last few days, that I was really scared before coming into Ramadan because of work, because I knew that we were opening later and I'm gonna have less time. So I was like really conscious that I might not be able to go to the masjid as much as I want and like read as much Quran as I want and stuff like that. But akhi, every time that happens, Ramadan comes around, man, Allah puts barakah in the month, man. It's so amazing
Barakah
to
in
like
time and stuff,
barakah in your, bro. I really like noticed it the other day, like really like it was like clear as day to me how much barakah there was in like specific time. Because I went to the masjid with Kareem, and I was like really scared. I was telling him like, bro, because we went to the masjid.
Today?
No,
Oh.
we went like a couple of days ago, just the day before Eid and the day before that, and we went for Qiyam, akhi, and then we were just there. It's a minute, so every people we know are there. Ended up chilling there for a bit. It's Fajr time, akhi. Now it's Fajr. We're praying Fajr in the masjid, and we come back and I'm like, bro, it's 5 o'clock, 5:30 a.m. I haven't slept, and I have to wake up like 2-3 hours for work. And I'm just saying to Kareem, like, bro, I'm scared because today I'm not having much sleep at all, 2-3 hours. Then I'm gonna work like 12, 13, 14 hours, and then next day, the after that is Eid, so I'm not gonna be sleeping much again either. And then he was like, bro, like don't. He just said to me something like, bro, don't stress. Like, maybe Allah puts barakah in your sleep. And I just went to sleep thinking like, Ya Allah, put barakah in my sleep, man. Just put barakah in my sleep.
And what did you feel barakah in your sleep?
I slept, bro. I woke up, I was active. I drive in the mornings, and my brother drives normally on the way back. If I'm tired, bro, I can feel it on when I'm driving. Like, it makes me really like drowsy. Bro, I was completely active, worked all day, and then that next day, bro, on 2-3 hours of sleep, I didn't sleep all day, because all night even. Me and Kareem had to do some stuff, wrapping presents, went to do some shopping. Bro, Fajr time, went to.
You guys was here, innit?
Were we here?
Yeah,
we were here because he gave me a haircut.
Yeah, and
He gave me a haircut.
I messaged Kareem because bro, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I got a notification on the CCTV, and I looked at the studio and the lights were on. I was thinking, someone's there. So I messaged him. I said, "Are you here?" I said, "Are you at the studio?" Because the lights were on, and he goes, I said lights on, and my CCTV just triggered it.
Where is it? Is it in here?
It's there.
Oh,
It's 360, yeah.
Subhanallah.
So as soon as you walk in.
Oh, barak.
And he was like, oh yeah, it was me. I was like, and I said to him, go to sleep, bro. What are you doing? That was Eid, bro. 3 a.m. Eid. So you got locked, didn't even sleep at all.
Bro, absolutely. After that, we went to the 24 Asda, get some stuff, wrapping paper, stuff like that. A couple of things he needed for it. He was gonna make breakfast for his family. Then
That's
went home.
madness.
Yeah, and then it was just Fajr time, akhi.
What did he
And
make? Spanish omelette?
No, he did like a spread of like different things, so
Inshallah.
like tapas kind of style. And then, bro, it was because we were going to the early like salah in it 7:30 that you booked. Okay, then it was shower time, get ready time, Eid salah time.
That's mad, bro. I slept
Point being, bro, I was absolutely fine. I did not feel tired until like after salah. After I came home, and then I was like relaxed, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can nap now. But that barakah that I felt in the sleep, it was just amazing. Because I never get to feel that.
I always feel tired on Eid, bro. I slept about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, and I was shattered.
And then
I said to you lot,
yeah, you're there's gonna be mash up.
I said you lot are gonna be finished today.
It was absolutely fine. It was amazing. And that's last night, bro. I slept nice. Is that me? Sorry.
No, I think so.
I slept good, man. Alhamdulillah. Barakah, akhi, man.
You know when Kareem, he said he made tapas. So those listening, Kareem's Spanish, and he came to my house, and we did iftar. Yeah. By the way, it is worth saying. I mean, it's probably pointless to even mention it, but Kareem is in my bubble because we work together, and so we was doing iftar together. Yeah, and I made there's fajitas in it, and so it was just like a sort you on a fajita out kind of thing. It was like so it's fajitas. The point of the story.
Did you make them?
My missus
Fine.
made them, and but it was like it was because how you have your fajita is going to be your own preference, innit?
Yeah, okay.
It's funny because we just ordered. Yeah. It's but for the normal person, it's up to you how you have your fajita. And so it was in a situation where it's like there's wraps, there was like the Mexican chicken, there was a salad, everything was separate. And you can make your own fajita.
That's nice. It's a nice vibe.
So anyway, I said to him, "Oh, there's like I said it's like Mexican chicken wraps or something. I didn't call it fajitas. Yeah. Obviously, I know they're called fajitas, but I just called it. I said, "Oh, there's Mexican chicken wraps." And so he ate them, and he's eating it. And he goes, and he's like, stopped. He paused in thought or something. I looked at him. I said, "What are you thinking?" And he goes, "You know, in Spain we call these fajitas," and he carried on. But he went full Spanish accent, bro, for just the word. And then he carried on. He was talking about something, but it was just so funny, bro, because I was like, I'm so happy I didn't call them fajitas in front of him, because I would have said fajitas. And he was like speaking English, Spanish, English. You know, in Spain we call these fajitas, and is he funny? You forget he's Spanish sometimes. How was Eid? How was it like the whole like family environment and stuff like that?
Well, it was amazing, Akhi, man. It was amazing because I was reflecting on something about again this barakah thing, man. Like this for some reason I've just been like really conscious about barakah, and then I was speaking to Kareem and like really wanting barakah in my time, my work and stuff like that. And so I felt this barakah business in gift exchanging. We did like gift exchange on Eid, Akhi. And I was just thinking, man, that there have been so many times in life where you see people receiving gifts, right? Like it could be like for reasons that we don't celebrate, but you see other people celebrating, like for example birthdays or something like that, right? And you see them receiving gifts, akhi, but it just doesn't make them like really happy. It just doesn't make them content. Because I was thinking about when we exchanged these gifts, akhi, they were not like very expensive gifts or anything like that, but it was just like such a joyous time. It was very nice to exchange these gifts, and everyone was really happy. And I was just thinking about how I've seen people receiving gifts that are way more valuable and that, like, you know, they really want them and stuff like that, but because they're receiving them at a time, maybe it's like a birthday or something that we don't celebrate, something like that, that you can see there's no barakah in it.
Could you try again?
Why is your Siri Indian?
Akhi, it's actually because of you.
Why is your Siri Indian?
It's actually because of you. Because one day, and that made me really embarrassed, subhanAllah. I was just playing around with it, and it said, I think maybe I was on a phone call to you or something, and then I must have tried to call you, and I said, "Hey Siri, call Faisal," and then for some reason this Indian accent came to my mind, right? Like, I didn't call Faisal, right?
You say he pronounces it?
Huh? Yeah, we pronounces it. And then I clocked that he does different voices. Right, so I was just messing around, and then there's like females and males, and there was one Indian. I was like, what? So I tried it, and then straight after I got busy, and so I never changed it. So it just stuck there.
That's so funny. You know what? Mine for the longest was Australian.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think I did the same thing.
You did the same thing.
Out, yeah,
but you have to test it out, man.
And then I ended up accidentally leaving on Australian.
Yeah.
But then there's disadvantages because I think I don't know if this is true, but maybe like the British ones understand the British accent better and stuff.
But yeah, now it's just funny, bro. Now
so your Siri on your phone like automatically is the same Siri that will go on your watch. It's Suncut, basically.
But I guess I don't know. This I'm literally my first time wearing it.
First day wearing it.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the sports band?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I have the.
This was a gift, akhi.
Yeah, Allah barik.
I mean,
Allah bless it.
I mean,
you said it was the 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have the 3. The sports band on the 3 is just plain black. It's not got holes in it.
Really?
What's the use of the holes?
I have no idea. Air pressure. I have no idea, bro. I don't even know much about this. Yeah.
As you run.
I would be faster than you. I do. I have to now because this watch keeps asking me running today. That's the first thing that it says on.
You do run, don't you?
No,
on Sundays.
Well, yeah, for a week, like 3 months ago.
You did it once.
Yeah, we intended to do it properly.
Yeah, weekly.
And then I don't know what happened. 2 times we missed it, and then after that it was like Ramadan's coming up, blah blah blah. I was training though, but I just wasn't running.
So you're gonna go back to running?
Yeah. You got it. If you're down, I'm definitely gonna start running again. And I gave myself a break, bro, during Ramadan. I wasn't working out, nothing, wasn't doing my sessions. After Ramadan, it's back.
Did you weigh yourself before and after Ramadan?
No, but I will do now because I was weighing myself and then just to keep track. And then during Ramadan, I was like, I'm not gonna bother at all. I completely like.
One of the most frustrating things is is that in Ramadan.
Do you normally gain weight or lose weight in Ramadan?
I normally gain weight, but guess
Same,
what?
I
This
do as well.
Ramadan I lost weight. I checked this.
But it's because you porridge, man. Porridge is some serious food. It's amazing.
No, I only had porridge because I had such a fat meal at 1 o'clock in the morning that I was stuffed.
Fine.
Yeah, it's not like I was like having porridge instead of a fat
Do you know
meal.
what I was doing?
I was having porridge and a fat meal.
Bro, I would break my fast at work because we're still open.
Oh yeah.
And then I'd just have like a wrap or something. And I'd go home, eat when I get home, like 12:30, half 11 or something. And then I'd have a nap and then I'd wake up and eat again. But I was living life. I'm not talking about porridge, I'm talking about eating. Full on meal.
Oh, that's nice. I wouldn't sleep.
Nah, I had something, bro. I had to, man.
No, I wouldn't.
I was getting too tired at one point. Yeah. No, I have to sleep. Just a quick nap though. Not every day.
I would nap during the days, but I forgot I was gonna say something about Ramadan. Yes, I lost weight in Ramadan, but you know what was really sad, bro? Is that I haven't lost any of my fat, right? And so I weighed myself at the beginning of Ramadan and at the end of Ramadan, and I was really. How much weight do you think I lost?
I'd be surprised if you lost anything more than 3 kilos.
Yeah, I lost 4 kilos, bro.
Lambadik.
I was shocked.
That's quite good.
And then I looked at myself, and I
wasn't adding up.
No, it wasn't adding up, bro.
What's going on?
So because I was like, if any, like I've either kept all of my fat,
Yeah.
right, the breast tissue still there, yeah, the extra stomach tissue still there. So I'm looking at myself, I'm thinking, how have I lost 4 kilos? So I checked again, and like I definitely lost 4 kilos. So then I like looked in the mirror and I did a little bicep. I did a little bicep curl. I thought, oh, biceps are a bit.
Something's
small.
missing.
Yeah, something's missing here. So then I came to the conclusion that I've lost muscle. And I mean,
probably
how
lost
sad
most,
is it
man.
when you get happy that you've lost weight and then it's like everything you lost was muscle?
Nah, maybe. Bro, I'm sure it's not everything because
It is.
I'm sure you've lost muscle though, definitely. Not that I can see it because I don't see it. I was saying to you earlier, bro. You're looking at them better. You're looking.
No, I've
big,
lost
man.
I've lost muscle, and I've maintained all my fat.
You'd get back very quickly though, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure even
Very
this
quickly.
last 2 days I've put my weight back on, man. Like how's it felt eating again?
Strange.
Very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, strange. But I get used to it very quickly, man. I get used to it very quickly.
Mankind is created forgetful.
Subhanallah. Sahih. Subhanallah. Reminds me of something that I saw the other day. It said it was just like relating. I'm sure this is either like a saying or like one of the scholars said it or something like that. But it was talking about how, you know how you're really hungry like during Ramadan and like during the day and it's like you're really looking forward to it. As soon as you have that first day, it's almost as if nothing came before it. Like it's fine, you're satisfied. And we're just comparing that to the trials of this dunya. As soon as you're in the hereafter,
Yeah, you forget.
Subhanallah.
I'm worried your mic's not picking you up much because my mic's picking me up great, but that's because I speak
Is it
so
me?
loud.
Because I'm speaking like.
I think you're whispering, bro.
Really?
Yeah, you're speaking a lot quieter than you speak.
I'm just not a shouter. No, I'm not.
You are.
Am I?
No, you're not a shouter, but you don't speak this quiet.
Really?
I think you
So-
might get a bit camera shy. Would you say you'd get camera shy?
I definitely get camera shy. 100%.
Can you feel the camera? Can you feel the presence of the camera?
No, not really. I can feel the presence of the lights though.
Yeah.
Because they keep making my vision a bit.
Yeah, and
But
if you look towards the lights as well, your glasses.
no,
will
do you know what it
reflect
is? I think because I keep having to clear my throat. Something's being bothering me, so I'm not speaking loud in case it's. But I'm not speaking like quietly.
Yeah, maybe because I'm used to you
I'm
speaking
sorry,
loud.
bro. I don't speak loud though.
No, not loud, but you do speak loud, like normal volume
Subhanallah.
loud.
Fine.
I should say that there's been a bit of a technical difficulty in this episode, to be honest, because as you can probably see, we've got one camera angle, and we've kind of strung lighting together and stuff, however we can. The point being is that I bought all of the because right now I'm back and forth between the studio and my own home. So some episodes are being done virtually from home, and some episodes are being done in studio where we can make them happen. And so I'm like lugging equipment back and forth, whereas normally the equipment would be here, and everything would be set up. And so because I'm doing that, I forgot a few pieces of equipment, namely my laptop.
The only equipment that you would normally lug back and forth.
Exactly.
Right.
I forgot that at home, and that means that we can't live stream this episode. It means that there's just so many issues, and so we're just kind of recording everything on SD cards. I'm gonna have to go home and export it and put it out hopefully tonight if it exports in time.
Are you planning on live streaming it?
It would have helped maybe because
Really?
because it's Friday. We're recording this on the day,
So,
but alhamdulillah, that didn't happen.
قدر الله أخي. Probably saved me from having 2 cameras, double the pressure.
Yeah, there would have been a close up on you, so now it's a bit further away, alhamdulillah. But our advantage would have been that my camera would have been coming from here, cover up the extra
Nah, you don't
scars.
need that, Akhi. Akhi, I think you should take the jacket off.
Akhi, they're there, man.
It's nice.
Are they the same on each arm?
Well, matching.
I think they are.
Really?
Are they?
Not at all.
You can see
Not
them.
at all.
Down there.
No, there's a few.
You see,
But
there's
2 or
more
3,
here
but
than-
yeah, I think these are a little bit more clustered.
Bro,
But
what they do is they just leave it's like they leave just marks. Like they're not. I feel like it's,
are they
it's like,
bothersome to you?
not my hands really bad.
Bro, I had it, but I don't know what it was. I think it was like an allergy thing, but I don't know if you can see it.
What's amazing is that so many people recommend, so many people on my Instagram and YouTube recommend creams, and I actually listened to some and I bought the creams that they recommended, and it's great because people are like, this is the solution. Everyone is like, this is because it's worked on them, and it you know, things do work. But if I bought all the creams that were recommended to me, I'd be I don't know if I'd be able to pay my rent. So what I have done is I finally got one cream that really worked.
Yeah.
It worked on me. And
Over the counter?
No, I posted on my Instagram. I was like, I bought your Instagram account.
Really?
It worked, bro. Amazing.
Bro, send it to me. I want to try it.
Okay.
Is it specifically for eczema, like just any allergies and that? It's fine.
I don't know.
Fine.
I don't know
wanna
much
try
about it. Eczema mainly. It's psoriasis, eczema, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I got it. It worked.
Yeah.
Posted on my Instagram. Someone messaged me recently. They said, "Thank you for posting that post on your Instagram for your eczema because I got it and it's cleared up my big issue." And it did work, bro. The problem is that if you don't use it for a while, it comes back. And so I try not to use creams too much, but I need to make sure that I over moisturize when I'm not using that cream. So now,
Okay,
because
you
it's
have
got quite bad, I'm going to go back to that cream. It will clear it up in about 2 days and my hands will look normal. But then from that point, I need to make sure, because I'm almost like, because my hands look calm,
Yeah.
I'll be, I won't moisturize as much. I'll be, how do you say la parva in English?
Careless.
I'll be careless, like moisturizing my hands. So I need to actually make sure. I'm gonna start that cream again tonight. In about a day or two, they'll be fixed, inshallah. And then, but yeah, the debug. It's weird, bro, because I was reading a lot of articles of people, and the most prominent thing that I found with people who have eczema, like the one that I have on my hands, where it looks a bit ugly on your hands. You don't have to agree, bro.
No, I was just listening to you. I don't agree.
Is embarrassment. Like people feel shy and embarrassed and lose a lot of confidence. And so I've actively tried to make sure that my confidence doesn't go, because I've seen that as a recurring theme as like the number one thing that it affects is someone's confidence.
Fine.
Over pain and bleeding, like
Really?
biggest issue, confidence.
Bro, whatever I had was really painful because it was
cracks.
itchy, bro.
Yeah, but mine gets really itchy.
Very itchy, and then if you accidentally itch it, you have to itch it more, and then you're in downward spiral, bro.
Did you ever like clip it against a door frame or something by accident, and then it's just mad itchy?
Yeah. And do you know what would happen whilst I'm praying? It would be the worst because this hand is covered with this hand, and then for some
Cover
reason
with
it
your
just
forearms.
like, bro, I tried, man. I tried, but then I would just start like itching it.
Yeah.
It's bad, akhi, subhanallah. But you need to send me that cream, man.
Yeah.
Akhi, also I noticed that I knew your knuckles were big, bro, but akhi, your knuckles are huge.
I don't mess with me, please.
Come on, my barik.
Okay. You got bigger knuckles than me.
No, I don't. Look at this one.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
I don't want this, bro.
That knuckle.
I don't want these hands, bro.
You don't want his hands generally, but that knuckle, you don't want that knuckle.
Subhanallah.
So I've tried to like actively like be confident. So I do find like today in the masjid, right? Guy sit next to me.
Yeah, give me an example, bro.
I'm going to present you an example.
Yeah, give it to me. I'm waiting.
Guy sit next to me today in the masjid, yeah? And my hands are out. I'm almost lucky, my hands are out. I almost look like the brother looking in my direction, and my knee-jerk reaction was to start hiding my hands because I know my hands are there. And when I clocked that, bro, I put the hands back out. I said, I'm not letting that defeat me, bro. I got eczema. People have eczema. The weird thing is I haven't had a lifelong battle with eczema. My eczema battle started 1 year ago.
Subhanallah.
So it's ajib for me. I'm 27 years old, and I've only just started.
Is that a thing that starts late? Because
I've gone to like the dermatologist and this. I've maxed out all resources, right? And what they basically seem to say is it's like a recurring thing that can come and go. Also, it's something you deal with for life. This weird thing is that I've never had it. I think as a baby I used to have it, but as a generic thing, babies do have eczema.
Do they?
Yeah, like a lot of babies have it in the first year of life, and then it goes.
Really?
Yeah,
Fine,
Zachary had it
yeah.
really bad. Khalil doesn't have it.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm itching it now, so I need to be conscious of
Barak,
that.
akhi, man. You could be tested with worse things, akhi.
Yeah, and actually I'm trying to be confident with it.
Yeah, that's good. You rock it, bro.
I'm trying to rock it.
You rock the eczema.
I think there's this one. There was one thing. We try not to come to this podcast with like any like pre-planned stuff or like like agendas and stuff, right? But there was this one. We just try and like keep everything off unscripted. But there was this one thing that I thought, oh, I'd like to talk about this on the podcast, and it was this concept of the Islamic personality and that character and stuff.
Sure.
And I think, as a rule of thumb, I would really recommend people to watch this series by Green Lane Masjid called The Islamic Personality. So on Green Lane Masjid's...
Bro, let it play.
Yeah, mine's quiet.
Oh.
Oh, look. This series, Green Lane Mystic. So, Green Lane Masjid's YouTube channel, they've got a series called The Islamic Personality. Akhi, I feel like everyone should listen to it.
Really?
But the reason is, bro, is
Who
because...
is it, Sheikh Abu Osama?
Yeah, because character is we know how heavy character is going to weigh on their judgment. Yeah, so we can't belittle it.
Right.
Also, the fact that it weighs so heavy makes you think like, what's like so. Like, what is there really to know? Like, there must be a lot to know about character if it's that heavy. You must have to really like practice. You must have really discipline yourself. You must have learned a lot.
Yeah.
And if character weighs that heavy, then it's something worth thinking about. The other reason I think character is so important is because actually think about any time that someone's left an amazing mark on our lives. It's been because of their character, right?
Sahih.
So Omar always gives me the example of Sheikh Jamal, and he says that he has this when he sees like people are like Islamic teachers and stuff. He, like by default, we get a bit nervous, scared, feel like you're about to get telling off. And when he's around Sheikh Jamal, he never gets that feeling. No. He said when he was around Sheikh Tim, he never got that feeling. And the reason is their character, bro. It's so beautiful, it's so warming, it's so endearing, and that's what actually brings you closer to Allah, right? Because their character is so beautiful. So you think someone's going to, and I've given the story privately many times, maybe not on a public platform, but the brother who gave me da'wah or who gave me nasiha, or the first brother that I got close to as a Muslim, first brother I got close to as who was like a practicing Muslim, like when I first started on this journey of like being more interested in my faith, he just his character was like, you know, they say, I think maybe Imam Shafi'i like used to be strict on himself and soft on others, bro. It's like he'd assume the best all the time, bro. Like, and he'd make excuses for me. And when I used to, so I was such early days, actually, that I didn't even know that like exposing yourself, may Allah forgive me, actually, like exposing yourself, your sins is like, you know, not good and stuff. So I'd go to him, I'm like, bro, I just did this, I feel so bad. Actually, he would, if it was an issue that there was a difference of opinion on, he'd be soft. Even if he didn't follow that difference of opinion. So like, for example, you know when we had Mufti Munir on the podcast and he was like, one of the questions that someone asked was like about eating the meat of the land. Like he said if I was sat with my friend and he started eating a beef burger from McDonald's, I wouldn't say anything to him, even though I don't follow that opinion, because there's a difference opinion amongst the scholars. Would you go to that scholar? Cool. And so that idea of if there's a difference opinion, if something's potentially not haram, right? Like being soft, essentially, right? So what he would do is I'll be like, I did this, and if it was an issue where there's difference of opinion, they're like, bro, there's an opinion that's calm anyway.
SubhanAllah.
And all of a sudden my anxiety would go down.
SubhanAllah.
And then if it was an issue where there was no difference between like it's clear cut haram, or it's like something to do with Aqidah where you can't play around with it, then he would go, Akhi, Allah is Ar-Rahman, make tawbah and it's done. So like everything, Akhi, there was a solution and everything was calm. His character was so big, but however, Akhi, he would be so strict on himself that I would want to be like him. He'd make excuses for me, but I would want to be like him. Because he would never I'd never see him implement those excuses on himself. So anyway, that all gives it's all kind of pre-context, right? But like these are the kind of parts of character which are like, you know, making assumptions and assuming and stuff. I think like are extremely negative things, and I try my best not to make assumptions because enough times actually have we been caught out when we've made an assumption about someone or something, and you got the wrong end of the stick.
We're the one who gets exposed, isn't it?
It's so embarrassing, and so you learn not to. And inshallah, we continue. I'm not saying we're perfect, but I'm giving all of this as a preface to this series, right? What this series showed me, bro, is that Islam is so detailed, it's so perfect, yeah. But there's elements of Islam that you don't get from a book or a just not readily available like that. But when you are like listening to a series that just talks only about Islamic personality, Islamic character, you learn things that maybe is not written down, right? Now I have no knowledge, actually, so I might be wrong. This might be written down somewhere, but I'll give an example of something that you can only get by like indulging yourself into for example, a series that talks about Islamic. Actually, like there's an example he gave was when you walk into someone's house, yeah, and you walk in someone's living room, bro, and you see sofa, you see like and then you see like a single sofa, like an armchair, yeah. If it's from the Islamic character, actually, that you don't sit in an armchair, like, is that written anywhere? But why? Because clearly that's the chair of the man in the house, most likely. So you're not going to just go into man's yard and sit on his chair. Like, it's not written anywhere. It's not haram to sit in the chair. But actually, here's where we start becoming more like amazing character. And character, if character means so much, there must be a reason, bro. Like, it's not about whether it's halal or haram. It's about having such a beautiful character. Bro, like, bro, I've clocked that. Whenever my man comes to my yard, he never sits in that chair. Like, no matter what, like, he always... Like, do you know what I mean, bro? You start thinking about these things long term. And so that's like an example of something that's not really done. Another thing he said, again, about going to someone's yard, he said, when you go to someone's house, like, you should try and sit on the chair, on the side of the sofa, if possible, obviously. Like, it's not about making Islam hard for yourself, bro, but it's about, he said, you should try and sit on the chair where your back would be facing the door. Because he said things happen in the house. And a mistake could happen, and the sister could walk in not knowing that there's guests here, or could, like, the baby could swing the door open, and it's better that your back's towards the door, so if something happens you don't even see it, and you save the izzah of the man whose house you're in, as well as you save his. Akhi, what? Akhi, where have you heard that or seen that? I was thinking, bro, these are gems, bro. And alright, he said, for example, someone has rights over you for 3 days in their house, yeah. So he goes, if someone has rights, if you have rights over someone that you stay in the house for 3 days, he said that doesn't mean that, like, the guy walks in, like, you're staying in his, like, living room, for example, or you're staying in his house, and he comes downstairs, and you're rummaging through his kitchen drawers, like, trying to find a snack to eat. He goes, that doesn't mean that. I have rights over you in his house. It doesn't mean this is my yard for 3 days. You have high character as well, still. Do you know what I mean? And because he was saying, if I invite someone to my house and I saw them in my cupboards, bro, he basically said, be vexed. You know what I mean? Like, it's my house, you rummaging through my cupboards. So all these things are character, because again, like, none of these things are like on the off, like, by default haram, right? Like the asl of opening a door, opening a cupboard for a snack, right? But it's so beautiful, like, these things that you learn here. And actually, I think all of those that I just mentioned to you, I think are from one lesson. Like, they're like, maybe, like, it's just mad, bro. There's so much benefit, but it just showed me how important. It showed me how important character is. It showed me there's so much to learn about character. It made me feel guilty for any time I've, like, not had great character. Even, like, when I assumed something bad of someone, when I spoke to someone in a certain way. Like, bro, like, okay, there's a brother we know, yeah. I won't give names, details, anything like that. But he had to go to the shops, yeah. He had to go to the shops and he had to get something for his missus, yeah, like sanitary products and stuff in it. It's like nothing that's like bad, yeah. But at the same time, you almost want to, like, cover her. Again, her honor, her izzah, like, it's a sanitary towel and stuff in it. Sure. So he was going shop, and then he ended up going shop with his friend. Yeah, he ended up going shop with his friend, but he wasn't going to go shop with his friend. He was going to go by himself. And And what he did, bro, is here's the options now. Man wants to protect the honor of his wife. He can say to his friend, listen, I want to go do I want to get something private. I just want to get something from Missy, so give me 2 minutes. Or he can go with a friend, but then it's gonna potentially like he just feels a bit shy to like get those kind of thing. But because he didn't want to have that conversation with his friend, because the awkwardness of when someone says to you like, oh, I just want to get something private, you feel embarrassed because you feel like, of course, like I don't want you to think like, you feel embarrassed because you're like, I would never like want to impose on your you feel like awkward and embarrassed. But the brother didn't want to give that feeling to the brother, and so he went out of his own way to get that like I don't know, a separate time or went back or whatever. But the point is that again, bro, there was nothing wrong with option 1 or option 2. There's nothing to say that like, bro, your boy, everyone's Muslim, everyone's good, like everyone's like understand. No one's gonna make a joke like, oh, you get like you pick it up, but probably wouldn't even mention it. Or if you did just say to your boy, bro, I'm just gonna grab a few things you mind, the boy wouldn't be offended. But it's having that Islamic character where you're like, I don't want even my man to feel shy or embarrassed that I had to say to him, or awkward. So I'll go out my way. Akhi,
Subhanallah.
these things aren't written.
No. Akhi,
Oh, they might be written, I don't know.
some of them are, bro. I'm not sure, but so many of them aren't, because I remember when Ustad Yahya was teaching us, he said something to us, akhi. He said something to me. He said that you can learn from books, right? But he was just kind of trying to give me the importance of having a teacher. And he was saying that when a teacher teaches you a book, there's so many things that you will learn that is not in the book. It's not written, and you only get to learn them from having the teacher teaching you those things, rather than reading a book and seeking knowledge like that for yourself. And actually, having a teacher is so amazing, because you get to see the implementation of the character that they almost teach directly or indirectly, right? And like their wisdom, bro. Akhi, Sheikh Yahya's wisdom, sometimes I'm just honestly left baffled. Like how he's so amazing in the way that he delivers knowledge. I have like this really vivid memory of him teaching in the masjid, and we just all sat around him, right? I don't know if you were there. I'm not sure if you were there. But anyway, there's a good few brothers, and he's teaching us, akhi. And we don't, at this stage, we don't have much knowledge about like the gatherings of knowledge and learning and stuff like that, and etiquette, I should say, of seeking knowledge, right? So we're sat on the floor in the masjid, and he's teaching, and then one brother just asks randomly, bearing in mind we've been having this lesson for a while, yeah, and we've been behaving in this manner like all of this time. Sheikh hasn't said anything to us, and I'll explain what I mean. Akhi, one brother asked a question about etiquettes of seeking knowledge, something along those lines, akhi. And there's one side of brothers that have their feet out pointing towards the teacher, right? And that's a big no-no. Like when you're learning from teacher, you don't have, there's certain etiquettes you follow, right? It's in the way that you say it, you can't point your feet at teacher. So there's this one side of brothers is just pointing their feet at him, and akhi, everyone's been doing that, like relaxing almost, like, you know, sitting down in the masjid and just kind of learning from him. And akhi, he didn't mention anything until someone asked him, so just so they don't feel embarrassed, and because obviously the wisdom, akhi, of, you know, understanding the condition of the people you're teaching and stuff like that. And akhi, then when he actually mentioned that as a point, that, you know, you sit in a certain way and you don't point your feet at a teacher, akhi, he just looked away from the people who were pointing their feet towards him, so they don't feel embarrassed. Akhi, and I was looking at like, wow, like that's so amazing. Like,
but you observed that.
Yeah, I observed that, because he's so subtle in the way that he does these things. But so he looked at the people who are not doing that to deliver the message, and so by the time he looked back, everyone had fixed up. So he did not look at anyone specifically to say, you're doing this is wrong, but he got the point across without making anyone feel uncomfortable. Actually, rather everyone felt like raw, like he didn't even say that to us. Or
like they would have felt like that he didn't clock, so you feel like you got saved from embarrassment.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, he told me the story once. Yeah, he said that, I don't know who he was talking about, but he was like some sheikh. Yeah. This again falls into character, bro. Such an amazing story, bro. I love this story because you can implement it in your life in so many ways. He said that there was this sheikh, and he had guests around his house, yeah. And he went out to the kitchen to get drinks or something for the guests, right, or something. I'm trying to do it best for my memory, but them details are a bit irrelevant for the benefit. So now he walks around from the kitchen back into the living room or something. And I might be like sprucing the story up because I'm imagining a house that I actually know. Like I'm imagining one of like my family's houses which has that has it in that way. So I'm like, he's walking around the kitchen into that living room. So but the point is he's got the food or drinks, and he's walking back into the room. The door's shut.
Yeah.
Right? As he's walking towards the room, he hears his guests speaking badly about him.
Allahu Akbar.
Akhi, what would you do in that scenario, Akhi?
Subhanallah. I don't
You'd be
know.
like, bro, you're in my yard.
Yeah, I'd get.
You'd be a bit
upset.
angry, or
Yeah.
you'd like show it on your face. Akhi, this sheikh, you know what he did?
Subhanallah.
He turned around, and he went back, to the place, like the kitchen or whatever, and then walked back. So he took longer, so that he didn't walk into the door as they were saying something bad about him, so that they didn't feel like, oh, he might have heard, so they didn't feel awkward.
Subhanallah.
And the benefit that the sheikh was giving, that Ustad Yahya was giving me at that point for that lesson was, he said that in Islam, like as a Muslim, from good character is that sometimes you ignore things that you know. Sometimes you know what to ignore. You ignore things that you actually know, but you pretend it didn't. No, you didn't know, but you just ignore it for the sake
Yeah,
of
he
like
does that.
your character and
Subhanallah.
stuff. And it's like and that's why he gave me that example. So sometimes like you let someone think they got away with something because. And ultimately, Allah knows why you're doing it, innit? It's just amazing, bro. It's just amazing.
You know what? So much to learn from Sheikh Yahya, isn't it?
Yeah.
To observing him, subhanallah.
Bro, you know Ustad Jamal, like all these...
I know Ustad Jamal, akhi.
Like...
Sahih. Akhi, all of the teachers that we know, akhi, that absolutely amazing, innit? And it just comes down to knowledge, akhi, and subhanallah. May Allah bless them.
Yeah, you like you said, it's knowledge, and it's like they know how to implement it. Like
Akhi, they know how to nurture people, which is amazing.
You know what? Another example is I remember you told me once that like the etiquette of someone studying Quran is that they come with their Quran and they come with a pencil. Yeah. And so Ustad Yahya akhi never said to me, akhi, where's your pencil? Where's your Quran? So sometimes akhi, you turn up with your app, the Quran on your app, akhi, go submit your surah. And I saw a documentary, yeah, called like maybe Never Give Up or something, but Ustad Abdul Ahad. You seen that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I loved it.
And his Quran students.
Yeah.
And he sent one of his Quran students home because they didn't come with their mushaf. And it was amazing, by the way. Not to put Ustad Abdul Ahad down at all.
No.
It was amazing to see how he's
really amazing.
But you know what it showed me? It showed me that I'm so unready for that kind of treatment. I'm so low, like on the journey, that I still need to be nurtured to the point where someone feels confident says to me, yo, you ain't got your mushaf, go home. You know what I mean? I'm not ready for that kind of discipline because I'll probably turn away. Like, look how beautifully we're being nurtured. Like, so I'm not, and I don't want it to make it sound like I'm saying that Ustad Ahad was done was too strict. It's actually like how it should be done. I'm not saying that Ustad. Do you know what I mean? I don't even like.
It comes
I don't
across
even
the
like
right
saying
way.
that we like I was at a class or something because it sounds almost like you're saying in public. But there was such a benefit in that, like looking at someone's specific situation, akhi.
Subhanallah.
That brother was ready to be told,
Subhanallah.
you ain't got your mushaf. Akhi, he's on it. Akhi, he's like a student of knowledge. You know what I mean? He was embarrassed, like, yeah, I ain't gonna have. Ustad, go home. He went home. Imagine us, bro. We'd be so embarrassed, bro. I'm so like
I'm
nothing,
with
bro,
you, bro.
that I haven't even got myself to the character where I could take that on the chin. I'd be like upset, offended, sad, cry. You know what I mean?
Subhanallah. Akhi, subhanallah.
Man sent me home. I'm 27.
Akhi, you know what just I was just thinking about that what you just said about you feeling like you're not ready to have that kind of treatment. Akhi, I'm the exact almost same. And something came to mind where I went through a period of like having a lot of difficulty at some point, right? And I was feeling like really not demotivated, but I was like really struggling memorizing a lot. So every week, I go to Ustad Yahya, and like I don't have much for him. Sometimes I have nothing to him. I'm just like, Ustad, I'm going to memorize with you, like today on the lesson. To the point where it came to the point where I was like, I don't know how much more patient he can be with me. And it was so bad. I was like, I'm sure this next meeting, maybe Ustad Yahya will, say to me like, maybe it's not going to work out or whatever. Like, in the sense that I might lose that kind of lessons from him. And I was just always amazed at how much patience and wisdom he shows, and rather than me feeling every time I went with that mindset or like, you know, that feeling, I would always leave the opposite. Like, nah, I need to fix up. I'm gonna do better. I need to memorize more. I can't let Ustad down and all these things. And it was always leave me with the feeling of motivation. And that was only down to the way that he would interact with me, knowing the condition I'm in and the wisdom that he would use for it, rather than being like, wisdom. That literally it just sums up in wisdom. He just understood where I am, and that I can't do it properly as much as I'd like to, and rather than pushing me away from it, it really brought me more towards it. If that kind of makes sense. SubhanAllah. I'm absolutely not worthy of having this kind of treatment, man. Having this kind of teacher. SubhanAllah. Allahu Akbar. May Allah honor him.
You know what feels kind of nice, I was just thinking about, is that like,
speaking of him, I love speaking about him.
No, I was going to say that Freshly Grounded is so interesting because Freshly Grounded, like each episode is so different. Like you get episodes that are like mad Islamic, but if you've got a teacher on, or episodes like this where we're reflecting on like Islamic stuff, and then you get episodes that are completely jokey and like and not like that. And I love both. And I almost caught myself just now thinking for a second, hold on, like this episode's steering a bit like too Islamic. And we've had a lot of them recently because we had Ramadan. Naturally, a lot of our episodes were with teachers and Islamic stuff. And it's like, oh, like that's steering away from like Freshly Grounded. How it was originally created was not to be. It was just to be like two people just having a general conversation. They just happen to be Muslim and like, you know, just like not swearing and stuff like that. I almost had that thought for a second, and I thought, you know what, bro? Imagine not worrying about how an episode is and just putting it out because that was the conversation. Isn't that true sincerity?
Nah,
that was a conversation.
And just asking Allah for barakah in it.
But not even like what is the agenda behind making sure a conversation stays in a certain way? It must be like, so the business side does well.
That's what I mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But then hold on a second, like imagine if all of a sudden that a business side is not an issue anymore. What would you do? I'll just have a normal conversation about whatever the natural conversation was. And so I just figured myself out. I thought, hold on a second. Whatever the conversation is every week is a conversation.
That's the entire point, the concept of having barakah in it, innit? Like not worrying about, just trusting that it's in Allah's hands, akhi.
Yeah, but there's ways of positioning things in markets. There's ways of marketing things and stuff like that.
You tie a camel, bro. Akhi, I got a question for you though.
Yeah, go on.
That green sweet wrapper, is that the one that you from earlier?
I just ate that.
How? When?
Did you not watch me eat it?
No. I've been holding this off because I was
I want the people in the comments to comment the exact minute and second that I did it. And then you can
I've been looking at it for like 5 minutes thinking, is that the same one? I was not going to eat it because you said, huh? Yeah.
The knuckle can hide the thing. The rest of my knuckles are very small though. And even this hand, none of them are. It's because that one has eczema. I think it's like bulged up because of the eczema.
That's the bone, bro. It's a huge one. It's a big knuckle. Can they see it? It's huge.
No, it's like...
Yeah, I love my bag, akhi. No, it's not, bro. Look at the size of
my hand is smaller than actually.
Put it away.
Weapon out. Bro, we should stop because it's Friday, 10:05 p.m. And we still have to... I still have to go home and I left my laptop there, so I have to go home, put this together, export it and upload it, and it's meant to be out today. It's not going to be out tonight. It's impossible because it takes like at least 2 hours to upload on YouTube. I think with my internet speed at home, it's not fast enough. So, but let's end it at least. And
alhamdulillah, it was nice speaking with you.
Yeah, it was nice having a chat with you like always. And if anybody is listening to this end of the podcast, this bit, we'll end it how we started it, which was to say, please keep the people of Palestine and all those being oppressed in your du'as. And it sounds so opportunistic to say this now, and I really hope that I'm sincere when I say this. Sure. But one of the reasons we do Freshly Grounded is, you know, sometimes we see the Muslims suffering in China, the Muslims suffering in India, Kashmir, all over the world. Like what's happening to the Uyghur Muslims in China. the concentration camps,
Mm.
and of course Syria, Palestine. And you look at videos and pictures, Akhi, and you're so upset you can cry.
Mm.
And you think, how can I help that person? How can I help that person? And yes, there's so many ways of helping that person. But that ayah, that Allah doesn't change the condition of people until they change ways in themselves. Akhi, when people ask me, like, what fresh Uganda is, one of the most frequent answers I give people in private is literally that it's like based, like essentially like, it's like conceptualized around that ayah. Like the concept that if we can just talk, have a conversation, but someone can listen and they might relate to it, but because they relate to it, and one day after 200 episodes, they go, oh my God, what? That man have never sweared.
Mm.
Imagine one person just stopped swearing, bro. It sounds illogical, but if that's the promise of Allah, that we can, if we fix ourselves, then like the Ummah is one body, then you not swearing now is a top priority of mine. Because you see people crying, you see people like suffering, you think, how can I physically help this person? I can't go over there. So you think, what if we just have a conversation? Because and you might think, like, why a conversation then? Well, it reminds me again of that thing that we spoke about once, that Sheikh told us, which was that there was a scholar, I think it was Imam Malik, I can't remember, someone, if they know in the comments this story, please do let us know. But it was like someone wrote to this scholar and said, I advise you to stop writing so many books and teaching others and focus on yourself. I believe it was Imam Malik, but I might be wrong. But actually, even then, imagine saying to a scholar, like, I'm advising you stop writing books. And I'm sure that person who wrote to him was also a scholar, so I don't belittle them. But it's a response that was beneficial. He responded, he said, Allah makes different things easy for different people. And he made it easy for me to teach, so I'll continue to do that. And so the point is that this is what is easy, like, for us. Like, I love, and we love as a team, putting out podcasts. We love content. We love the idea of putting together a product like Freshly Grounded. Like, even like the cameras, the lighting, the mics, and we love it. So if we can use that and someone can stop swearing, or someone might just reflect one day and be like, wow, like, he mentioned the benefit in that was a bit, like, they just implement it. I don't know. We're not perfect. There's loads of sins that we have. But maybe, bro, there's like, oh, raw, like, the 2 rakat of sunnah before Fajr is that important. And they start praying their sunnah, Fajr, all of a sudden. Maybe that will benefit Ummah. And so, inshallah, that can continue. And also, this idea of, like, providing jobs, right? Like, that, inshallah, can help the Ummah. Like, the idea of, like, one more person not working in a haram job, or one person being able to pray at work, like, that is another person who's now praying at work, who, again, it's like the Ummah is one body, and so it has this ripple effect. Even though it doesn't sound logical to us, we know that the promise is true.
That sounds completely logical, akhi, because that's what Allah says, isn't it? Allah put barakah in your work, akhi, man.
Ameen, and yours, akhi.
Ameen.
Anyway, I end it by saying, please make dua for the brothers and sisters in Palestine and the brothers and sisters suffering around the world. Jazakallahu khair for listening to this episode. Sorry it's out so late, everyone. And it was just a chinwag and a natter, and that's what I'm going to title it. A chinwag and a natter.
And a now. Barakallah.
Mainly Faisal was speaking, barking at Aonali.
Only listening intently, enjoying the conversation.
Being polite, having good Islamic character.
Trying.
Alright guys, take care, thanks so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.